intention is good. Time is set in sand, not stone. Remember, some rules are meant to be broken.
"10,000 years beneath..."
The very roots of the World Tree are corrupted by the Nightmare. Cleanse Shalonir of the infestation that has claimed it.
Run out. Run out.
dream. Dream. Now I wake.
Alas, poor Nythendra. She served faithfully as guardian of the dream, only to be perverted into a gatekeeper of corruption. I have faced the nightmare before, but never has it had so thorough a stranglehold on the dream.
I'm out of
It
range.
hungers, desperate to seed its corruption. Do not let its whispers seduce you into madness. From each of these pathways, a palpable evil emanates. Choose a course, and know that I will stand with you.
The nightmare consumes me, compels me to serve, to kill. You should have fled.
If you need further proof of how insidious the nightmare is, look there. Even the fierce heart of Ursak has succumbed. Release him, I beg you! Truly, there was never a soul more noble than Ursak's. I pray his spirit finds its way back to the dream. Oh, Ysandra, how cruel fate can be. What manner of foul creature is this? It seems poised to unleash its corruption upon Thunder Bluff. The spirit of the Torrent people must not fall prey to the nightmare.
I'm ready for your treachery.
What horror is this? A tumor of nightmare infecting a world tree, here in the reflection of the Titan's own playground. If this seed takes hold, the roots of its infestation will wind their way into the heart of Azeroth. The nightmare would devour our world, claiming everything, everyone. This must not come to pass!
Come, little ones. Savor your fear as we feast upon it. At last, the feeding hour.
Bigad. Phase change.
Behold, the iris opens. The way to Cenarius is clear. Moonglade is the most sacred place in all the dream. To think that my Shandow could play any part in its corruption. I must see with my own eyes what horrors have befallen my beloved teacher. Steel your hearts against the darkness, heroes.
The impurity must be cleansed.
4, 3. Phase 2.
Fight with noble hearts. Father!
Yes, Cenarius. We are here to save you. Hold your weapons. He begins to see the truth.
It's too far away. I need a target.
Xavius waits ahead in the Rift of Aln, the true heart of the nightmare. Would that I could fight at your side, heroes, but to this place I cannot go. My bond with the Emerald Dream gives me great power, but it also makes me vulnerable to the Rift's darkness. I appear to know this to be true. Should I step within, I would be lost, just as Cenarius was. Go, destroy the Nightmare Lord. Only this way can the dream be restored, and Azeroth be saved.
I'm out of range.
We must put an end to the nightmare. Say the word, and I will take us into the heart of that twisted place.
The nightmare has corrupted dragons. My work unfinished. Heroes, champions, step forth and hear me. The nightmare has long been a cancer eager to consume the Emerald Dream. Had Xavius succeeded, his corruption would have overwhelmed Azeroth, giving rise.
Himself into this. I think that Kevin really screwed things up last week when he decided to inject himself into this controversy with his vociferous defense that contained some rather charged language. I think he's doing the right thing by pointing out the obvious, which is that if somebody glosses Nazis on the air, that person probably should not be associated with a conservative think tank, and that everyone should have a duty to say that that is a bad thing to do. So I'm grateful to Kevin for doing that. I think it's a very good thing that he did that. The real issue here is I think that Tucker Carlson's morphing from, I would say, a very edgy right-wing political figure on Fox News, but certainly within the mainstream, into a conspiracist, a person who ideologically launders anti-Semitism, who ideologically launders all sorts of anti-Americanism on his show, and then airs it for the public to hear with interviews like the ones he did with Nick Fuentes, which was essentially a massage of Nick Fuentes. You know, I think that took a lot of people by surprise, probably including Kevin.
The Washington Free Beacon obtained and posted video of yesterday's Heritage Foundation staff meeting where Roberts apologized for how he's handled Tucker's conversation with Nick Fuentes. Here's part of what Roberts had to say.
I didn't know much about this Fuentes guy. I still don't, which underscores the mistake. I can tell you with a clear conscience and not making any excuses that those were my intentions, to fix all of that. And obviously I didn't. I made them worse.
Fuentes cattle, it's true.
Dined with Fuentes has been fairly notorious. And let me just comment about the video. We were referred to Kevin Roberts' social media post from yesterday. What's your reaction? And let me just note that Nick Fuentes has been fairly notorious for years now, including when he dined with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, I think that's true, but I think that really in order to experience the full wonders of the Nick Fuentes catalog, you really do have to spend some time going through the receipts. I did that earlier this week on my show. And the truth is that most people don't watch politics all that granularly. Even people who are in politics don't spend a lot of time on sort of the fringe edgelord right, the way that Fuentes is. And so the sort of mainstreaming, the popularization and normalization of Fuentes by Carlson is significantly more important than just Fuentes' existence, obviously. It was a seminal moment, I think, when it comes to the right's decision as to whether Tucker himself is a source of truth or whether he is a destructive force inside conservatism.
So one of the things you've noted is that it isn't so much, your problem isn't so much that Tucker Carlson had Fuentes on his show, but that he didn't push back at all on the neo-Nazi, anti-Semitic, pro-Joseph Stalin rhetoric, et cetera. I just wonder, last week at a Turning Point event, Vice President J.D. Vance was asked by a student about an anti-Semitic falsehood, this crazy notion that Judaism openly supports the persecution of Christians. It's not true, but J.D. Vance was asked about it. Instead of pushing back or correcting the questioner, he said this.
There are some significant theological disagreements between Christians and Jews. My attitude is, let's have those conversations. Let's have those disagreements when we have them. But if there are shared areas of interest, we ought to be willing to do that too.
What did you think of that?
You know, obviously in a vacuum, I think that answer is fine. I think it's a response to the question, which was asked, as you say, in a tremendously anti-Semitic way. The idea that Jews are persecutors of Christians is an absurd contention. Obviously, I would have preferred more from the vice president, but I think the broader problem here is, again, that you have an enormous number of young people who are engaging with true white supremacist, anti-Jew content and are taken in by it, and there do need to be more voices pushing back on that.
Ben Shapiro, we thank you for your voice. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
I can't attack you.
Alas, poor Nighthendra. She served faithfully as guardian of the dream, only to be perverted into a gatekeeper of corruption. I have faced the nightmare before, but never has it had so thorough a stranglehold on the dream. It hungers, desperate to seed its corruption. Do not let its whispers seduce you into madness. From each of these pathways, a palpable evil emanates. Choose a course, and know that I will stand with you.
The nightmare consumes me, compels me. You should have fled. Now, I'll feed your bones to the storm crows.
If you
4,
need further proof of how insidious the nightmare
4,
is,
3,
look then.
2,
Even
1.
the fierce heart
Frenzy.
of Ursok has succumbed. Release him, I beg you!
It's too far away.
Truly, there was never a soul more noble than Ursok's. This was the Emerald Dreamway. During my long slumber, it was here I communed with the green dragonflies.
Big Ad.
The sacred place has been made into a conduit for the nightmare to spread its corruption. This we cannot allow. Oh, Cassandra, how cruel fate can be. Cleansed of the nightmare once before, only to become its victim yet again. Some wounds never truly heal. May you find peace at last, old friend. What manner of foul creature is this? It seems poised to unleash its corruption upon Thunder Bluff. The spirit of the Torrent people must not fall prey to the nightmare.
I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
This time I'm ready for your treacherous now.
The illusion of corruption falls away. What horror is this? A tumor of nightmare infecting a world tree, here in the reflection of the Titan's own playground. If this seed takes hold, the roots of its infestation will wind their way into the heart of Azeroth. The nightmare would devour our world, claiming everything, everyone. This must not come to pass!
Big Ad. Phase change.
Behold, the iris opens. The way to Cenarius is clear. Moonglade is the most sacred place in all the dream. To think that my Shandow could play any part in its corruption. I must see with my own eyes what horrors have befallen my beloved teacher. Steel your hearts against the darkness, heroes.
The impurity must be cleansed. Is that you, Roshan?
Yes, Cenarius. We are here to save you. It is done. Cenarius is beaten. But my great teacher lives. Now, I must focus all of... Go, destroy the Nightmare Lord. Only this way can the dream be restored, and Azeroth be safe. We must put an end to the nightmare. Say the word, and I will take us into the heart of that twisted place.
The nightmare has corrupted dragons, gods.
Embrace the dream.
Phase 2.
Embrace the dream.
Nightmares are never gone. No, I will not permit it. No, I will not permit it. Heroes.
I can't say it! This is a villain so evil, so sinister, so horribly vile, that even the utterance of his name strikes fear into the hearts of men! The only safe way to refer to this King of Darkness is simply... him.
I hate niggers.
Got some new video. This is Broadview, Illinois, and Friday morning has been the time when, well, you get scenes like this. Officers arrest an anti-ICE protester.
Can't use that item yet.
Champions, you have spilled the blood of Helya's minions. The time has come to enter Helheim itself and end the Sea Witch's dark reign. But first, our final challenge. Heimdall! Persia! Test the mettle of these mortals. I must be certain they possess the courage and skill needed for what is to come.
Shall we be lenient with these pets of yours, Odin?
Hold nothing back. I must know they are ready for the task ahead.
So be it! The unworthy shall be purged from the halls of valor!
The battle is yours to begin, heroes.
None can stand against Aeir's chosen.
4, 3, 2.
Well done, so far. But I will judge for myself whether you are worthy. Enough! Your worth is proved. With you as my champions, Helya will fall, and I will at long last be free of the curse that binds me here. Beware, champions. Helya's realm is guarded by a savage beast,
4,
bred from the
3,
stuff of
2,
nightmares.
1.
Well fought. Now onward to Helya. This day her treachery shall be ended.
So kind of you to deliver your souls to me. It will save my Valkyr the trouble of fetching them from the surface world.
I can't attack that target. I can't attack that. I can't attack that target. I can't attack that. I can't attack that target.
mighty champions have come to end my reign. Whatever shall I do? So kind of you to deliver your souls to me. It will save my Valkyr the trouble of fetching them from the surface world. Come, mortals. You have earned. Drown in despair, lapdogs of Odin! Soon you will join the ranks of my Kavaldir! Your efforts are for naught, mortals! Odin, my reign cannot end!
Have you brought valor to these halls? Champions, you have spilled the blood of Helya's minions. The time has come to enter Helheim itself and end the Sea Witch's dark reign. But first, our final challenge. Heimdall! Persia! Test the mettle of these mortals. I must be certain they possess the courage and skill needed for what is to come. Shall we be lenient with these pets of yours, Odin?
Hold nothing back. I must know they are ready for the task ahead.
So be it! The unworthy shall be purged from the halls of valor!
The battle is yours to begin, heroes. I will be the judge now.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well done, so far. But I will judge for myself whether you are worthy. It seems I have been too gentle. Enough! Your worth is proven. With you as my champions, Helya will fall, and I will at long last be free of the curse that binds me here.
Beware, champions. Helya's realm is guarded by a savage beast, bred from the stuff of nightmares. Well fought. Now onward to Helya. This day her treachery shall be ended.
So kind of you to deliver your souls to me. It will save my Valkyrie. Come, your souls belong to me! Soon you will join the ranks of my Kavaldir!
Beware.
Your doom lurks within the fog! Your efforts are for naught, mortals. Odin will never be free.
Watch your step.
Not win!
Take those horses down the hill. I'll meet you at the barn.
Back to the barn?
Lying on the...
I need to get the supervisor.
Hello. See you later.
Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy an Avatar: The Last Airbender commander deck? Is what I would have said if Wizards of the Coast had indeed designed Avatar: The Last Airbender commander precons, but they didn't do that. This is now the second Universes Beyond set in a row that did not get any commander precons, despite the property being a fantastic fit to receive them. I mean, come on, a world that features 4 distinct factions, each with their own mechanical and flavor identity? Why didn't we get a water precon, a fire precon, an earth precon, and an air precon? These are commander decks that design themselves. But no, instead we just got a standard legal Avatar set and a separate supplemental set of Avatar cards, most of which look like butt, that are only legal in Eternal formats. So as I've had to do more and more lately, I've just gone and designed the commander precons myself. All right, presented here are our Last Airbender commander precons. I've constructed 3 100-card commander decks around 3 of the most exciting legends in the main Avatar set. These lists are chock full of new Avatar cards, as well as a few existing Magic cards that I believe could easily have been reskinned to fit the world of Avatar. And I don't mean reskinned like that. This video will be presenting more of a deck summary for each of our commander precons, but we have complete developed deck lists listed in the video description, so don't forget to check them out. Let's begin with, oh, sorry, I have to take this. Hello, Professor here. What? No. Oh, hello everyone. Voiceover Prof here. Since normal Prof is busy, I'll take over the ad read. Doesn't Prof seem cool out of Match red, green, white, and blue deck built around the 4 forms of elemental bending from Avatar: The Last Airbender. With ally bending, you'll assemble Team Avatar and teach Aang to master the elements of water, fire, earth, and air to defeat the Fire Nation. The deck is headlined by Avatar Aang, a 4/4 human Avatar ally. Aang has flying and firebending too. Whenever you bend an element of any kind, you'll draw a card, and if you manage to bend all 4 elements in a single turn, you'll transform Avatar Aang into Aang, Master of Elements. Aang, Master of Elements, is also an Avatar ally, though he's lost his human subtype. He still is flying, though, and he's got a power and toughness of 6. Aang, Master of Elements, reduces the mana cost of your spells by 1 of each color of mana, and unlike many other versions of this type of cost reduction, this does reduce generic costs. So if you have a 5-mana spell that costs 4 and a white, Aang, Master of Elements, makes it free. And as if all your spells being free wasn't enough, you can also transform Aang back into his human state on your upkeep. If you do, you'll gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, put 4 +1/+1 counters on him, and deal 4 damage to each opponent. Turns out Aang in the Avatar state is pretty powerful indeed. If only Korra could have figured out how to achieve the Avatar state. I know, she does it at the end of Season 1. I really like The Legend of Korra. I'm just kidding, it's a joke. It's a joke, because that was our Season 1 arc. She couldn't get the Avatar state. I like Legend of Korra, don't at me, don't at me, don't at me! Once Aang is in his Avatar state, the deck pops off as every spell in your deck becomes either free or it's reduced to just 1 mana. Though Aang's color identity in Commander is technically 5 color, I've decided to omit black from the deck to keep it focused on the colors of the 4 elements that Aang learns to master over the course of his journey. That said, there is a Maelstrom Nexus hiding out in the deck list waiting to be cast for free once Aang transforms. But in order for Aang to transform, he's gonna need to learn how to bend it like Beckham. The first element Aang masters is air. Makes sense, given that he's a airbender. Airbender Ascension airbends the moment it enters play. As you continue to airbend over the course of the game, it'll gain quest counters to correspond with Aang's quest to master all of the elements. Once you've accrued at least 4 quest counters, you'll get to start blinking a creature on each of your end steps. There aren't very many airbenders in the Avatar: The Last Airbender Magic the Gathering set. That's weird, right? I wonder what happened to them all. Oh my god, oh the emotions! Well, the ones that do exist in the set are awesome in ally bending. Glider Staff, Airbending Lesson, and Aang, Airbending Master, all only airbend once, but Appa, Loyal Bison, Aang's trusted friend and companion, airbends whenever he enters or attacks, meaning he's a reliable source of airbending as long as he sticks in play. The next element Aang mastered on his journey was water, and there's plenty of help for him on that front. Aang learns much of his waterbending skill from Katara, both Bending Prodigy and Water Tribe's Hope. To demonstrate this, we've included a couple instances of Katara using her waterbending to help Aang. Spirit Water Revival is a ridiculous card draw spell if you're capable of paying the waterbend 6 cost. Aang's Iceberg kept Aang sealed for 100 years before Katara broke him free. In addition to airbending, Aang's Swift Savior provides an opportunity to waterbend when Aang fuses with the ocean's spirit La. To show Aang learning to waterbend, I've also included Waterbender's Ascension, a card draw engine once you get to 4 quest counters. Even before you do, though, this powerful enchantment is also a repeatable source of water bending. Season 2 of Avatar follows Aang's mastery of Earth. Earthbender Ascension provides some mana ramp and eventually starts growing creatures once it's gained enough quest counters. He encounters and befriends Toph, Earthbending Master, who teaches Aang how to earthbend. Eventually, Toph herself learns how to metal bend, as depicted on Toph, the first metal bender. Aang's earthbending journey in Season 2 culminates in Aang at the Crossroads. Once another creature leaves the battlefield when Aang at the Crossroads is in play, say by air bending, Aang will transform into Aang Destined Savior, a powerful flying Aang that earthbends on each of your combats. The final element Aang must master is fire. Fortunately, by the time Aang is ready to learn this dangerous final element, Zuko, Firebending Master, has changed his ways and joined Team Avatar. Zuko synergizes with the other bending masters included in the deck list, as they all benefit from the experience counters each of them gain. It's almost as if Aang's friends are all on this journey together, like they all grow stronger as any one of them gets stronger. You know, the message of the show, and also brilliant card design. In addition to Zuko, there are a few other firebending allies, such as the Sun Warriors, Loyal Fire Sage, and of course, Uncle Iroh, Dragon of the West. Not to mention that Avatar Aang himself can provide you with firebending. All of Avatar Aang's past lives live inside him, so I've included the 4 sagas that depict the legends of the previous 4 avatars: Roku, Kuruk, Yongchen, and Kyoshi. All 4 of these sagas provide additional bending capabilities. Because so many friends of Team Avatar appear in this deck list, it only makes sense to include some ally sub-themes as well. Katara the Fearless doubles every ally trigger, including Avatar Aang himself, and a few other friends join up along the way. Hakoda, Selfless Commander, Sokka, Tenacious Tactician, and of course, who could forget the final member of Team Avatar, Momo? Finally, I've included a few other existing cards that it's easy to imagine with Avatar artwork. Moon Mist would depict the way Aang can sometimes slip into the Avatar state while under great stress, such as when the moon disappears after Admiral Zhao destroyed the moon's spirit. That's rough, buddy. Ash Barons would show the ash that the Fire Nation ships leave behind when they lay waste to a city. Generous Gift could show when Aang tried to help out the elephant Mandrill in the zoo, only for it to run rampage through the city. Why couldn't we have gotten commander decks for this set? It all fits so perfectly. We've still got 2 more decks to cover. What's up next? Well, opposing Team Avatar is the Fire Nation, led by Zuko's sister Azula and father Ozai. Fire Nation attacks is an aggressive Grixis precon designed to maximize the firebend mechanic by casting spells mid-combat. Fire Nation Attacks is helmed by Fire Lord Azula, a 4-mana 4/4 human noble in Grixis colors with firebending too. Whenever you cast a spell while she is attacking, copy it. You may choose new targets for the spell. The game plan of Fire Nation Attacks is simple, but it gets out of hand incredibly quickly. Attack with Azula, make mana mid-combat, and cast a bunch of copyable spells. First, you'll need plenty of access to firebending.
Don't worry about
Azula
it.
herself, of course, as well as 2 of her other iterations. Azula, Cunning Usurper, and Azula on the Hunt. But there are a number of other sources of firebending as well. Ozai, the Phoenix King, provides a huge source of firebending at the top of the curve, and also prevents you from losing any mana you have floating as you pass through turns and phases. Zuko, prior to his change of heart, is also included in the deck list for his firebending prowess. Beyond that, you've got Firebending Ascension, which creates a firebender when it enters and then starts doubling your firebending once it's online. I've included a smattering of other firebenders in the deck list as well, including ways to give additional firebending abilities to creatures. Keep in mind that firebending stacks, so a Fire Nation turret or Sozin's Comet will give Azula multiple instances of firebending. Once you have all this firebending mana, you'll need a place to spend it. Any spell you cast mid-combat gets copied by Azula, including permanents. There are a ton of great things to copy in this deck list, including removal like Last on Jikai, Terminate, and Lightning Bolt, of course. Fire Covenant, Pyrokinesis, and Comet Storm are flavorful inclusions that it's easy to imagine getting Avatar artwork. Culligan's Command is another great one, though we'd need a skin of it renamed Ozai's Command, of course. Fated Firepower copies the X value of whatever you cast it for, giving you 2 enchantments that each have X fire counters on them. These will boost your damage output considerably. Speaking of X spells, Electro Dominance is another existing card that would be a perfect inclusion from both a flavor and mechanical perspective. Let me explain how this spell works with Azula. First of all, you cast Electro Dominance for X equals whatever, using the firebending mana in your pool. The spell immediately gets copied at that X value, so you can hit 2 targets for X damage. Then, both Electro Dominances allow you to cast a spell that costs X or less mana for free, ignoring timing restrictions. Whatever spell you cast for free will also get copied by Azula. That's both spells that you cast off both Electro Dominances. Casting a single card results in 6 total spells going on the stack. Utterly absurd. Dualcaster Mage makes 2 Dualcaster Mages. Dig Through Time casts 2 Dig Through Times. Enduring Curiosity makes 2 Enduring Curiosities. Unexpected Windfall and Seething Song both abuse the copy clause to make additional mana after they resolve. Torrential Gearhulk makes 2 Gearhulks and then 2 copies of the spell Gearhulk flashes back. The same is true for Mysterious Stranger. Sphinx of Forgotten Lore gets copied if you cast it mid-combat, then copies each spell they flash back in combat for the rest of the game. There are a few cards in the list that can provide your non-flash cards with flash. Leyline of Anticipation, obviously, but we've also got cards like the Blue Spirit to give flash to the first creature you cast each turn, while Born Upon a Wind gives flash to anything you cast for a single turn, all while drawing 2 cards if you cast it mid-combat. You'll notice that many of the cards I've mentioned can't be cast with just red mana. The non-red color requirements of these cards could of course be paid for using your lands, but that's not the only option. Fire Nation attacks also includes ways to filter the red mana into more useful colors. The filter lands from Lorwyn Block are all present in the mana base, as are the signets from Ravnica. These signets would of course have needed to be rebranded for the Avatar universe, but that wouldn't be too hard. Finally, Barrels of Blasting Jelly provides a single instance of filtration per turn, and if you ever decide you don't need it anymore, you can use it to send 5 damage to a creature. Oh, hello. Are you ready for fun? Well, that's good, because I've saved the best deck for last. While Aang and his friends wouldn't have succeeded without one another, more importantly, they wouldn't have succeeded without their teachers. So get ready for a commander deck that's based on education. The deck is called Lessons Learned, and it's headlined by Iroh Grand Lotus, a powerful 6-mana legend. Iroh Grand Lotus is a 5/5 human noble ally with Firebending 2. Iroh costs 3 generic and 1 of each teamer mana. During your turn, Iroh gives the lessons in your graveyard flashback for 1 generic mana. He also gives all of your other spells flashback on your turn, though any non-lessons have a flashback cost of whatever their mana cost is. Lessons Learned is a spell-slinging deck unlike any we've designed for this channel. When Lessons were first printed back in Strixhaven, they were generally overcosted versions of whatever their effects were, to make up for being wish targets in your sideboard. But this time around, Lessons are designed to be main deckable. As such, Lessons and Avatar are a lot stronger than their Strixhaven predecessors. I mean, you've got literal rampant growth in the set as a lesson, now called Shared Roots. But even many more of the expensive lessons from Strixhaven are disgusting once you're flashing them in for 1 generic mana. The Lessons Learned deck is packed to the brim with nearly every lesson in Teamer colors and Magic. I've omitted a few that are either too weak or that don't work with Iroh's flashback on your turn only ability. In other words, the lesson counterspells. There are 30 lessons in this deck list. That's nearly 1/3 of the deck. You've got lessons that ramp, such as Cycle of Renewal, Elemental Teachings, and the aforementioned Shared Roots. And there are lessons that draw cards, like Teachings of the Archaics. That's me! I'm the Archaic that teaches. Illuminate History, and Waterbending Lesson. There are lessons that interact, like Combustion Technique and Iroh's Demonstration. Origin of Metal Bending and Start from Scratch interact with non-creature permanents. Lost Days is awesome when cast for 1 mana, as are Zuko's Exile and its predecessor, Introduction to Annihilation. We've even got protection spells like Redirect Lightning and Octopus Form, cantrips like Seismic Sense, Energy Bending, and Introduction to Prophecy. Token makers like Elemental Summoning and Mascot Exhibition are also absurd when cast for 1 mana. But I'd say the most powerful lesson in this deck is the Secret of Bloodbending, which is a devastating mind control spell if you're able to pay its Waterbend 10 cost. And if you thought flashing back lessons for 1 mana was good, how would you feel about flashing them back for 0 mana? That's right, with Uncle Iroh or Gran Gran, not only are your lessons cheaper to cast normally, but with Iroh Grand Lotus in play, they have flashback costs of 0. Yes, that is how that works. You can do the same thing with Thunderclap Drake, Stormcatch Mentor, and level 2 of Artist's Talent. Chapter 1 of Artist Talent also helps churn through your deck and dump your more expensive lessons directly in the yard to be flashed back. Stormkiln Artist provides you with a treasure every time you cast a spell, and if you're flashing back lessons for 1 mana, that essentially means those spells are free. And if your spells were already free, well, you're just generating extra mana. With all these spells being slung, you're going to want some additional payoff. The deck plays a few token generators at different spots on the curve. Young Pyromancer, Murmuring Mystic, and Rite of the Dragon Caller are just a few that will add to Iroh's lesson. Lessons Learned also runs Secrets of the Dead and Burning Vengeance to provide additional value each time you flash back a spell. Your deck's natural game plan will be generating Storm. Can you tell Jesse designed this deck? And that's why it also includes...
So, when we had BB, I would say death threats at an all-time high, no question, when BB came up. Then they agree, all right, Ben wants to come on the podcast. Then when I said, you know, I want to have Nick on, I looked at the booking team. After Ben was confirmed, I said, if they cancel, it's because of me agreeing to have Nick on. Great. We have Nick on. I show the clips. We have the conversations. Everything takes place. Fair interview. You sound like a racist here. You sound like this here. Why are you dropping this word? So he's kind of like, you know, even manning up. 2 weeks later, Ben Shapiro cancels. Why? Why do you cancel? So what is the brand? Why not have conversations? We're not a firebrand. We're not. Well, let's see, maybe next year. No, I'm not interested. Don't big shot yourself. It's unattractive.
Your timelines end here.
Big Ad. Phase 2.
You exist.
Your step. Taunt Boss. Big Ad. Phase 3.
Time shifts again, and your doom draws near.
Watch your step. Big Ad. Big Ad.
Time is slipping away.
Interrupt.
I'm out of range. Not possible. I was destined to win.
Really rich.
Yo!
Sent $600.
Yo!
I hate these people so much.
You shouldn't have fucked with Ultros. It's real. Yo!
Which I'm inclined to believe him, obviously.
I think. 2 of them, they say he's like arguing and said, let me see actually. Let me see the context. Let me pull this up real quick. I gotta do it justice here. Let me find this. It says He says that these were all shitposts years ago, which I'm inclined to believe him, obviously. He says that these were all shitposts years ago, which I'm inclined to...
Oh, but I can help you with the move. Okay. Oh, hey, random person, wanna handle all my stuff and find my new address? Thanks a lot. Me, I'm thinking about, I look at Florida and I think about moving there sometimes. I'll help with the move! No, you won't.
You will not.
Ultra says Jaden and you should dress as nurses and dance on TikTok. That seems to be the theme of TikTok. I don't know if I'll be wrong.
Ultros has 2, 3 tweets going back years ago, where if you read them in context, if you read the thread, he's sitting there arguing with libtards, and he says in 2 of them, I think, 2 of them, they say he's like arguing and said, let me see actually, let me see the context. Let me pull this up real quick. I gotta do it.
What's your step? Phase 2.
Justice here. Let me find this. It says He says that these were all shitposts years.
Target you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Big Ad, Phase 3.
Surrender. This is our world, not the Legion.
Years ago, which I'm inclined to believe him, obviously. Look, Ultros, great mod, big supporter, and I like the guy. Huge shout out to Ultros, massive shout outs.
I have a hot take about it, of course. Spoiler alert, it has to do with the Jews in Israel. They're putting you in the labubu. I don't know how to... And Gavin, off like 2... With this chop
Everyone's thinking it. Who cares what this chop bitch has to say? Honestly. Like, seriously.
Holy
We're looking
titties.
at that person. We're looking at her face.
Holy milkers, but oh my gosh, this is hilarious. The
record a day in the life, they usually
Seasoning police on this app. If in your brain you only view